Hey everybody, welcome back to Chris versus Cultist Simulator. We played this on the stream and I think it's a weird game, and I think it maybe wasn't super down for those who were watching on the stream, but I know some people like it and I'm still really interested in it. So I decided I'm gonna keep playing through. I don't know how long we'll go, maybe till I get one ending, maybe until it just gets so confusing I can no longer kind of progress. But I figured I would keep playing. We're still partway through playthrough with the physician. Remember, we restarted as Jonathan Reed. Where were we? We have loaded the game. So let me take stock real quick, kind of on what's going on. We got some notoriety. Okay, so last thing we did before the game was saved was we sent our associates out on what turned out to be a fairly costly but very productive expedition. We had the expedition to, I believe it was the Strathcombe estate, and we wound up with a veritable treasure trove of books. One of them is for learning a new language. That is this guy down here. And then the others are all various lore books, which with any luck will yield for us some more esoterica. Our bomb maker here is a temporary ally. Still our only full-fledged ally is Salaba, a believer. Salaba understands blood. He does not yet understand birth. So my thought was we blew through tons of funding to kind of get everything set up. So we're just going to keep cranking out work to get our money back. And while we're doing that, we will study the books we found at our raid on the Strathcombe estate. Reason is really good. We got 5 reason, 3 passion, 3 health with this character. We do have a glimmering that's going to go dead here. I probably should have maybe taken a look at that. And we have a restlessness that's going to die. So hang on a sec. Let's do this. We just get some money from that. And then let's do this. Why don't we paint and get rid of this restlessness so that that doesn't bite us in the butt. Bomb maker's going to disappear and that's fine. What do we got here? Wrong kind of attention. So that's going to pull my notoriety. That's kind of a bummer. We'll search with that fleeting reminiscence. Oh, wrong kind of attention maybe pulls a hunter, not a notoriety. I don't know. We have multiples of a watchman's secret, and I know that we've tried to study them. You can study it if you have like 2 at a time, but I don't remember what it is that we need aside from that in order to advance it. We've tried it a couple times and we're unable to do so. Got an erudition. All right, so that's not a huge deal. That gave us an erudition, really. Interesting. Totally forgot to put my glimmering into the mix, so that's a bummer. Oh, the erudition was from our studying, not from our work. For some reason, I thought we got that from the painting. All right, we do unfortunately yield a dread out of the reminiscence. Because I wasn't paying attention, the glimmering is gone. So I guess, like, look, let's just dream with reason, I suppose. And then real quick, let me study these guys to see what it does when you study both of them, because I can't remember for the life of me what it was that was preventing me from doing anything. There goes our bomb maker. That's fine. Don't really need to worry about that. Glimmering is going to be up in time for us to do what we were planning on doing previously, and now we can go right back to work at the hospital. I talked to a couple of people after we did the stream of this, and the general consensus was like, the game is really neat, but it's so hard to follow. And I would encourage you, if that was kind of how you felt, oh, didn't mean to grab my bullpen there. If that's how you felt, this is definitely a game that, like, I don't know that watching it or describing it or hearing someone describe it rather is really, I guess, I don't know that that's really the best way to kind of convey it. Because it really is just so blisteringly unique that it is not really something that you're just going to kind of glean at. So if nothing else, hopefully this is still entertaining. But more than anything, I hope this is kind of a catalyst for you to get curious enough to perhaps go try and play this game on your own. Much like Jonathan Reed here stumbled into the world of the occult by reading Backlog's notebook. All right, yeah, so this is a puzzle missing some pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. Provide erudition. So we do have an erudition. That's what we ran into last time that we didn't have available to us. This time we have one just sitting on the board, which is nice because it was going to time out before we had anything else we could really do with it. We'll go ahead and just keep cranking through on that. We do have the funds as long as we keep up that work cycle are gonna be there. So let's go ahead and also go shopping, because as soon as we're done converting these to Watchman's Secrets, we're gonna crank through our other books here. We get a reason and a fascination. Had forgotten about the fascination. I believe we can get rid of fascination with dread, which is nice because that'll also clear our dread off the board, which is kind of a weird one, right? Like it's almost like a double negative, like 2 negative cards on the board can become a positive just by way of getting them off the board together. So I didn't see some of this. Wisdom is a country, and these are its maps. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. There it is. Is that it? We have resolved a knowledge challenge. Cool. So the timer on this one's a little misleading because it's several parts kind of strung together. Still struggling to figure out the best use for the talk command. So we did get a book out of that. And then I think we're going to go right back to Moreland's. What did we get? On What is Contained by Silver, a bestiary by Pomander in Greek. Okay, so that's another one we can't read. We can add that to the one here that's in Latin. We do have a book that allows us to learn, what was it? Fucine? I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's our first of the kind of like language instructional books, which tend to be a pretty big deal. I'm gonna hold off on doing anything with these Smith secrets. Now I understand. Oh, that was the same thing. Blinking in the light. All right, cool. So apparently we passed that. So that should spit out like the next level up for the lantern aspects. I should have not done the lantern aspect because it totally was failed upon me that we are not doing the lantern aspect for this playthrough. It would have actually been more advantageous for us to do the Smith's secret. I think it's actually the keys that we're doing as our cult. Another book from Moreland's. We are sick, unfortunately, so one of our healths has been taken. So when this dream is up, we're going to dream about health to get a vitality. We'll head back to Moreland's. Dream is almost up. Traveling at Night, Volume 2, The Annotated Dream Journals of Christopher Illipe, sometimes called The Only Reasonable Occultist. We've read another one from him. So that is kind of a continuation. We do get a fleeting reminiscence. So this is kind of a catch-22, right? Because we dreamed away the dread, and that got us... I think we're actually supposed to study health to get vitality, now that I think of it. That was maybe silly. We got a fleeting reminiscence from getting rid of the dread with a fascination, but if we explore that, it could just yield another dread. A light in the skull. Whenever the principle of the lantern sheds its light, I may recall additional scraps of knowledge. Oh, okay, cool. So because we did something with the lantern aspect to get a new lantern aspect. Oh, that's interesting that it dropped it right next to my level 2. We might get more occult knowledge because this is the one of like knowledge and learning. What is it here? A snatch of poetry, a single memory of a certain house that all of us visit at least twice in our lives. For one's first visit to the Mansis, this lore is almost essential. Very cool. We should dream our way back to Mensis at some point here, but I kind of want to make sure, speaking of which, our study is lying and doing nothing. There's an extensive discussion of the similarities between Illipi's own dreams and those of the Emperor Elagabalus, who Illipi regarded as a dupe or avatar of the sun in rags. The white is west of the world, Illipi remarks, and winter does not wait forever. All right, so we'll set that in motion. Now I'd like to, this fleeting reminiscence isn't going to disappear too quickly on us. A collection of essays. Nice. So this is the one, we had one of those previously, and they kind of function like erudition in the bank. They don't run out like an erudition we would learn from studying our reason. We do have another, what are they called? Expedition. We do have another expedition that's on the board, but we just have the one follower. I would love another follower. Some of that is still kind of confusing to me. So I was hoping that would be another piece of like a cult, but it was not. It's unfortunately just an erudition, which I believe at this point, yeah, we need 3 lessons learnt. So that would be a total of 6 eruditions in quick succession. We went to the cabaret once. What happens when we study explore the city with health or followers? So we can't do it with our headquarters, even though we can put explore in there. What about talking about explore? Interrogate, intimidate, beguile, instruct, recruit. Interesting. The talk one's tough. Every time we talk to our friend, the guy in our cult, that seemingly just gives us like notoriety. Dream on an affliction to transform it back into health before the card decays. Get our money here. Gonna need that. Ooh, the course of heart. Whenever the principle of heart is implicated, I may gain vitality. We did get a dread out of it though. That's kind of a bummer. What was it? If I dreamed with passion, I got a fascination last time. Let's do that. Ooh. I know this dream. We can put a lore in here. Well, let's dream of our locksmith's lore. Locksmiths often have the dream after the sole of the foot is wounded, especially if that has been snake bitten. I could try that. We've done that one previous, actually. I could sleep in a room without colors, bleach the sheets, whitewash the walls, dye my hair, and paint my skin. We did that with Baker Smith, or Baker Logs. I could cut a lock of hair before I sleep to honor the power of the wood. Okay, that's like our most powerful occult scrap right now, so I'm down with that. Explore is still doing nothing. I should study a health here, but I think I'm gonna let this time out because it might give us a vitality, which would mean we wouldn't need to spend a cycle study on our health. So even though it's gonna create 10 seconds of downtime on study, I think that's our best choice. Ooh, so we got a sexton's secret. Certain knowledge, it is said, can be expressed only through the particular quality of a silence. It has been suggested that one can only read such knowledge with one's eyes closed, but only by mischievous commentators. And this is the winter aspect. And that's just a level 2, right? Yeah, it's the base level. Another erudition. How much time we got on that? Oh, plenty of time on that. All right, cool. So, I don't want to explore with my fleeting... Wait, I can study a fleeting reminiscence? With the right combination of influences to raise more power. Perhaps I can find... So what does this take? A buzzing in the brain, which we've had but don't have currently, or a consciousness of radiance. Okay, so the next time we have a buzzing in the brain, these fleeting memories seem to tie in with the moth, which is what the buzzing in the brain was too, so that kind of ties up. Let's see. This is waiting for what? Fascination, so that's not great. We did get a vitality out of that, so we're going to use this vitality to get rid of our affliction. Still dreaming on that, but that means that study is now available. We'll study there. I'm going to send him out to search the city. I guess if we're not doing anything else with exploration, that's what we can do with him. Because if he just finds people to recruit, we can always just turn it down. I'm still not really sure what to do with my followers. That's something that I'm a little short on. Yeah, someone that might join our cause. Well, 5 funds, work coming. We do have another expedition. I don't know. It says in the Shires. I don't know if there's like... I don't know if there's like regions. What the heck? We're just studying, so it's not like we got a ton going on. Let's throw a gold to that. Have him start recruiting some folks, because then we can just send some people out on an expedition. Until we get more permanent ones. Although I wonder if we can convert... Oh, this grabbed our bleak thoughts. What do we get out of you? Another fleeting reminiscence. All right, so we got back our... And this one's a level 3, yeah? Yeah. And then what else did we get? A buzzing in a brain. Okay. Our passion is exhausted. This isn't in the right spot. Wait, yeah, it was. I'm confused because of my newly added cards. And then what are you? Weigh the wood. Didn't we already have that? We did. So that's just another way we could have found it. It's interesting that they would let me unlock it twice like that. Huh. We're going to dream away our affliction with vitality to get that point of health back so that doesn't get lost. Keep our rounds up at the hospital. And then I think once study's available here, I think we're going to try the buzzing in the brain fleeting reminiscence. I know I said that I really wanted to kind of crank out a bunch of study, but I would love to see what it is that that does, because I'm very intrigued by that. All in all, we're kind of just in, I guess, like water tread mode right now. Like, we're not exactly going ham. Ooh, a picturesque account of a journey through nightmare interspersed with what might be particular right, or might be partial rights. On the 18th, ascent is the bud. On the 36th ascent, the blossom. Interesting. Okay, so that's our next level up for lock. What is it called? Key? Knock. Knock. What was I thinking? So now let's try this. So then what knowledge can we use? Looks like we have to use this one. Embrace possibilities of peril. Now I turn my back on the things I understand. This upgrades our moth influence. Wow, so that's going to be like a level 4 moth influence. Why was that so easy? Now potencies and potentialities align. I love some of the little like one-liners are so good. So we get back the one we had. Augmenting a moth influence. I hope to augment this moth influence. A rattling in the soul. Oh, it upgraded the influence. It upgraded the buzzing in the brain to a rattling in the soul. So it didn't upgrade my aspect. It upgraded... What are these called? Lore... I don't know what those are actually specifically called. But all we did was we upgraded our influence, which is the temporary one. Okay, so we did get a shifty woman. Now, are we able to... This one must serve another purpose now. Into the cupboard they go. No, I don't want you to go into the cupboard. I want you to be recruited. Significant conversations in a smoky meeting room. What do I need from my follower? Add your cult to send them out on cult business. Send them after enemies. Or raise another matter. So hang on, let me see what happens. So if we add our cult, my believer might be able to part fools from their treasures if they're lucky. Cult business hoodwink. What else can we put in here? Ooh, all kinds of stuff. Passion does nothing that changed anything significant. That can't go there. I wish that just anytime you had a section open, I don't think that's for me. I don't think that's for me. What happens if I just talk to him about the headquarters? Let's try that. I wish anytime you were in one of the verbs, it would just automatically light up the cards in your playing field that were capable. The Wainscot Histories. Subtitled Stories from Behind the Walls, a miscellany of non-traditional histories compiled by William Gore, including battles not generally acknowledged and countries which appear on no map, told in a playful, apparently fictional manner. Gore does not mention the Mansis directly, but constant coy metaphorical references to ascending the staircase of years, to the doors of sleep, and to the blue light of dawn suggest he had commerce with the unseen world. And they got one more book we can read natively, and then the instructional book. Work almost done here, so let's do another trip to Moorlands. And then we're going to send Salaba out again to see if we can get another temp follower. Wrong kind of attention. We don't have a hunter, so that's fine. Should get our health back right here. Sure did. Keep that money train running. I'm safe now. The meddlers have their attention pinned elsewhere. What do we do with Dream? I mean, I guess we could take a trip. Let's take a trip to the Mansis. And we're gonna do... Oh, we can do it with our occult stuff. If I have enough passion. Aspect a back way through Dream. Some memories are sketch maps of Dream. Some even pass through the bounds of Dream in the woods and the house that rises above it. I mean, that's a key like our Nox stuff, right? Let's try and do it with this. There's a house in the wood. I know enough Nox secrets to find the hidden paths through the tangled trees. It's interesting to me that even stuff that like is somewhat familiar, like things and activities that we've done previous, can still be so foreign. On the White, Solomon Husher writes, perhaps allegorically, of winter and its long, slow, doomed romance with the sun. The epigraph is sunset at noon. I mean, so it makes sense to me that this would yield winter aspect, right? Like that sounds like it makes sense. Send him out, see if he can find another recruit, kind of start getting our team ready for the trip to Gladwin Lake. Did you find someone? Are you winning, son? Oh, no, he found a place. Cool. So we'll take that. What did he find? Oh, just strange. Street Strange by Moonlight. I forgot. I think this is like super reusable. Nothing then. Okay, so that doesn't do anything, which is unfortunate. Let's see. It was common in that time to speak of the division of the sun, by which contemporaries understood the eruption of barbarian forces and their uncouth gods. So that gets me a furtive truth, and if I'm remembering correctly, these, yeah, so these are like automatic find a cool locations, so we will definitely study that. On closer investigation, the work seems to be a theory of aesthetics, or perhaps a set of warnings about the dangers of painting. Interesting. Okay. What do we got here? You're looking for fascination. Go ahead and look, dog. We got another batch of funding coming in. I wish we could get like a better position at the hospital so that this could yield better than a 2 fund per work cycle. Because it almost winds up being like a net of 1, because it takes about long enough that we just wind up back to the way we were before. These are the bounds about the house with their mists and their traces. This, the rock called the Temple of the Wheel, high as a church spire, patched with the black lichen and daubed with eye signs. I round it, and there ahead of me is the white door, open as was prescribed long ago. Way the white door. Okay. In my dreams, I've passed the white door, which has been called the bone door and the gate of ivory. My voice remains outside the house each time I enter. So that dream yielded us an entire new way to interact with Mansis. We've seen the white door. It's one of the icons on the Mansis map. In my dreams, I know the path to the white door through the bounds, but that path is thronged with the dead who pass that way. I will need health to resist their chill. Health is not exactly a strong suit for us. But it looks like it maybe only needs the one. Hang on, let me read what it said here. Oh, we had already read that. Now I can approach the white door through the bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity. Around and about me is the cobalt light of the Mansis. So radical. Okay, so we're head tripping. Meanwhile, shit, our strange streets by moonlight have yielded a fascination which immediately got fed into trembling in the air. We'll use up that furtive truth before it disappears entirely, because I want to make sure that we get the location that it yields. Talk still sitting dormant. I gotta figure out. I'd love to experiment with it more, but it seems like every time we do it, we just get fed notoriety, and like, I don't really need that. Oh, so when that downgraded, this we had leveled up, and now it downgraded into a buzzing in the brain, and now it's gonna destroy itself. Interesting. So we could always just kind of upgrade it to keep it active and on the table. Shoot, our shifty woman is already dissipating. We're gonna have to figure out something to do with her. I would like to get one more person to go on that trip though. Husher writes distractedly of his hatred of colors and his yearning for death. He hints at a great work he has envisaged or begun where the palest of paintings will enthrall the world. He returns again and again to certain compelling phrases, which he claims are the secret words of winter, which is another Sexton secret. Cool. Can you study? No. I mean, I could throw you in talk just so you don't time down, right? You don't time down when you're in there, so we'll just use talk to kind of keep you put. Janus is the gatekeeper, the twin god, the god that wounds, the presager of changes, the sun, the moon. So we identify him with the watchmen, the twins, with the mother, with the forge, with the mensicate and the madrigad. He cannot be all these, can he? The Flamines knew the church, knew the dry land, knew the Elagabalus. I'm gonna get it eventually. Is he then synthesis, or is he something else? In Galatia, they call him Ioannis Lamius, but the Obliviots are notorious for their slander. Okay. Some of it I'm just like, what did you even say? All right, we lost some money. That is going to give us, I think this spits out a restlessness, so we're going to have 2 restlessness to contend with here. So I might need to buck up and do some painting, it looks like. So give me that. We're going to go paint as a way to get rid of restlessness number 1. Talk is just keeping our one person. Oh God, it scared me again. Okay, so now we're in a different spot. Interesting. So we could come to the white door and just get restlessness. I can't imagine that like, there's got to be different ways to use some of this stuff that I'm thinking of as negative. There's got to be ways that it's like actually a positive. All right, let's see. Orchard of Lights, the Lodge of the Sage Knight. I mean, I would like to meet a Sage Knight. What do you have for me, Sage Knight? Looks like our other entrances are stag door, peacock door, spider door, the tricuspid gate, the glory. Looks like that's our final destination. Ooh, a subtle fracture. Can be used in some rites to summon minions. Oh, I thought this was another one of the ones that would let us find a location. I guess that's just a, oh, that's right. I have to drag it to the right. I guess that's just a aspect of the, knock. Last night, in the great pavilion above the gray sprawl of the bounds, a woman who once called herself Teresa Gallagher sat on gilt-fringed cushions and offered me a horn cup of dream wine. The wine is imaginary, she explained, but the cup is not. To navigate the Mansis, one must understand the distinction. Perhaps one day you'll join me on the pilgrimage, or I'll join you. So here, let us share a secret. And her breath tickled my ear. All right, so we get a fatigued health back. We get our way, the white door. You know what? I think the bullpen's going to move back down here, and I think we're going to use the space above the board for our gateways into the Mansis. Subtle fracture. I'd love to know what I'm supposed to do with it. The Guare Inn. Let's send you out to explore again. I'd like another hired gun would be ideal. What did you give us? Another restlessness. Yeah, I figured as much. So we're gonna have to paint again, which means unfortunately the funds aren't gonna be building up while we're preparing for this expedition. 2 Smith secrets. We could upgrade a Smith secret. I found someone who I might pay. Yep. Welcome to the team. I hope the person you found is like a master assassin. Would that like, could you come back from this little trip and be like, oh, hey, I met this guy. His name's Ezio. He's going to help us go break into the Guare Inn. I hope I'm saying that right. Guare? I think it's Guar. It's Guar like the band. This is actually Guar's practice studio. So everything's ticking along here. Nothing then. Correct. Nothing. It's 33 seconds. Yeah, so we're gonna have to cool your heals again. This fed another fascination, is that right? Eek, it's already got 1 in it, I think. That's not ideal. Janice has, they say, not 1 face, but 2. To which I reply, why only 1? Why only 2? Hersault and Causally, according to Thomas Love Downeman, once agreed that Janus was all the gods and none. But later, Hersault insisted he was all the gods, and Closely favored simply none. Denman was a sinister dilettante, but this rings true of them both. Ooh, so look at that. So this got us another Watchman's secret. Can we not stack you? Oh, no, we can't because you're not the same thing. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we're collecting a full set of the lantern aspects. We got another decent sized moth aspect. We can study this now to learn. Can we study recklessness? To study, one must generally sit quite still. Restlessness is rarely the ally of scholarship. But why do you let me put it in there? It has something in common with Latin and something else in common with the scratchings of maddened rats. Okay. I'd love for that to be on like a 100-level course syllabus. During the course of the next 12 weeks, we are going to be learning how to speak like maddened rats. All right, so we have a contentment just got fed into despair, which is good because that'll counteract the dread that's sitting in it. 1 passion exhausted. Immediately follow up to ditch this restlessness before it can come off the table. Love it. Love it. Our health is back. You know what? Let's do another trip into the way in the wood. Ooh, that's going to leave me with no passions, though. So let's do this. Can we get there? I'd like to use the winter aspect, friend. There is a house in the wood. This much I know. Here is a light through the trees. Our subtle flaw is on its way out the door. That's fine. Who'd we recruit? Another shifty woman. I get the job done. All right, that's fine. You can come along then. So as soon as the other shifty woman is out of talk, we are going to start an expedition. Do we want to go to the lake or the inn? On a crumbling cliff above a gray sea, the Guare Inn squats until the day the sea comes for it. It receives few guests, fewer since the owner closed his notorious library to visiting scholars. Well, look, if you got books, I got hired shifty women that I'm sending to your facility. That's just how that goes. Burning through a restlessness, 10 seconds left on the talk. So we're out of stuff to study. So I guess while we're waiting for more books to study, I think maybe it's just going to be time to keep cranking in the stat cards and try and build one of our stats up. I think health next, because passion we don't really seem to use a ton of unless we are trying to get rid of restlessness. In places, it overlaps with languages I know. In other places, well, I can see why they call it the tongue of witches, but I can understand it well enough now. So we are a scholar of Fucine. Fucine? I don't know how to say it. A people lived east of the lost lake Facino. Horace warned that theirs was the land of witches. It was their language, called by some the dry tongue, and by others the tongue of witches. Very cool. All right, so this we can put down here because we will need it should we choose to read a book in that language. Okay, so you would need 3 lessons learned for health, so that's a total of 6 health studies, and then you need 3 for passion. So yeah, let's just start the studies going. I don't know how much the timing on that is going to work. We may not have enough. I could send an expedition here to find books, treasures, tools of power, but I'll need followers to send and funds to supply them. So you're the leader. Oh, hold up. So I have to send funds. Okay, so how much time do you guys each have? Because one of you is going to sit out. So we'll have... Whoa. We'll send you to go along because you have more timer before you time out. We'll send some funds. I haven't been reading the things. If I add at least 1 funds, I can begin the expedition. Okay. We can reserve rooms at the inn easily enough, but we can expect the locals, if they divine our intentions, to turn nasty. And if the library is still there, it'll be well hidden. Okay. Start that up. 30 seconds for our first challenge there. This is looking for our craving, so that's going to hit us with another freaking restlessness. Get out of here. Our despair is going to disappear in timeout here, though, which is nice. Love to see that. And then fleeting reminiscence. Does that get rid of... You can defeat visions with dread or a fleeting memory. Oh, okay. Oh shit, that's almost at level 3 fascination. Okay. Oh, and we're gonna get a dread from that. All right. I've sold a painting. I found a customer. She'll probably hang it in her spare bedroom and never look at it again, but her money is good. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So we have a couple of glimmerings. Man, I'm almost tempted now. Well, so this is where the time management gets kind of tricky, right? I guess we just let these count down as close as I can to them being 0, and then we study them to convert them over. That was my lantern or my knock aspect. So another restlessness. I really want the funds, but I don't want these recklessnesses. I gotta figure out another way to get rid of recklessness. So first part of the expedition, done. Let's see. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I could send funds now, or I could send another follower. So let's send another follower, because that cools her timer down. So now she's not blowing her timer while she's just sitting on the board. This is going to take that down to Fascination 1. I would love another fleeting memory. Instead, I get more freaking restlessness. I dreamt of opening doors, red doors and gold doors and doors of glass and doors bound like hooks and railway carriage, bound like books and railway carriage doors and castle gates. Behind one was the something I seek. I awoke with the slamming of doors still in my ears. It's interesting how restlessness has so many of the aspects. I mean, I guess it's just supposed to simulate, like, or not simulate, it's supposed to, like, represent that idle mind kind of exploring all these strange avenues. All right, so this gave me a health and a vitality. Instead, though, I think we're going to start cranking out passion. Oh, no, wait, I don't want a passion. Oh, that one's going to be off cooldown, so that's fine. Because I'd love to be able to get these two glimmerings to turn into something useful. Are you kidding me? Get out of here with that. You just keep hitting me. Awake, awake, they're upon us. That way, quickly. Feed that of funds. This restlessness might just need to get converted. Oh, wait, why don't I convert it? I can defeat this other... Yeah, this restlessness can turn into dread, and then it'll just get rid of that fascination. That's fine. Not worried about that. So that means after this one's done, we'll go back to the hospital and start keeping sure our funds are up high enough. And then this one will give me a minute, so that's fine. So we can do... Oh, sweet. I found another customer. What do we get? Funds too. Jackpot. All right. A contentment. Another glimmering. So that's sweet. We are sitting pretty in the glimmering department temporarily. Hopefully you turn to dread. This is going to go to the hospital so that we can keep the funds flowing to help feed the expedition. What do we dream about? Can I dream about a book? No, we can't. What do we dream about? We can dream about the ways. We can dream about the cult. We can dream about funds. That's just to give us contentment. Dream about passion. I mean, I don't want to just keep dream wasted. We can dream about a skill? That doesn't do anything. Why would you do that? Let's dream with reason. There was once a man who said blah, 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 blah. Often it is healthy to let the mind wander in sleep, but if I keep dreaming, sooner or later some sort of monster will rise from my own fears. Sure, let's run one of those just so I can remind myself what it does. All right, let's see. Their bewilderment is our opportunity. We'll pass in silent secrecy. Beautiful. You love to see it. You're going to turn into a dread. I love that that didn't cost me more money yet. We might even go on this other expedition with that hired help. Why not? If I still got him on the timer, that seems like it's advantageous. I know there's a way to get more permanent followers. Like, it's not always just these, like, your one standby and then randos. I wonder if I can upgrade him now that I've got a higher level right, too. Old, unhappy, far-off things. Moth finds the light in the dark, and so do I. Interesting. All right, so we've got two... These glimmerings should have enough time to run their course. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And then still enough time for you two. Beautiful. That's exactly how we drew it up. And then you want money. Our expedition plans come to the next challenge. It'll consume funds. Here you go. That's why I'm keeping the day job, boys. Someone's gotta pay for these madcap adventures we're on. And then this will time out. Shadows are shelter from light. Despair is ballast. Even misery has its uses. That was like almost... that's almost like darkest dungeon levels of unsettling dialogue. All right. We do have a dread chilling now because that other restlessness timed down, but that's okay. Let's see here. The door has held fast for a long time. Unless we bring forge or knock, it will hold fast against us. So how much knock do you need? I mean, I got knock. Card must have one of least aspects. Well, wait. I can't just feed you knock? You don't have knock aspect along for the ride. It's also irritating that my follower, you're a knock cult, right? Yeah, the keys, purple. Interesting. There's another restlessness, so that's garbage, and I hate it. Rain is coming, but the right kind of rain. What's the right kind of rain? I don't like that. So this has yielded contentment. Okay, beautiful. So now we can get rid of our dread. And then after this trip to the hospital, we'll paint again to get rid of this other restlessness. And then I gotta start hanging on to these instead of just letting them turn into dread, I guess. So this is gonna be another glimmering. We gotta do a quick swap here. So we'll get this back, immediately study these two glimmerings. And then we're gonna follow that up by studying these two glimmerings in quick succession. This glimmering has enough time on it that we can afford to do those two studies first. You are Bleak Thoughts. We don't care as long as we can paint first, which we're gonna have just enough time to do. Oh, I didn't mean to nudge you. Doors have two purposes, to open and to remain closed. Today, this door remains true to its second purpose. So is this just going to be bound and destined for failure because none of my people that I sent have the knock keyword? That's irritating. Move this right over here since we don't know what the hell they do yet. Collect you and my money, and then we're going to go paint to get rid of this restlessness. When you time out, you just disappear, I think, right? Our expedition plans for the next challenge. Sure, here's your funds. I hope this isn't just like a sunk cost fallacy now. And then you're going to turn into a lesson learned, and we'll immediately turn these guys into another lesson learned. Is the timing on that going to work? Maybe. Maybe. Another fleeting reminiscence. Let's do, I would very much enjoy another trip to the woods, please. Maybe we can just get a glimmering out of that. That would be kind of sweet. And then what do we got up here? There's our lesson learnt. So then we immediately send these two glimmerings into the mix. Yeah, I think that glimmering might wind up. So these, I mean, I gotta remember that these guys have a pretty long timeline on them. So converting them isn't the worst. Another fleeting reminiscence. We're just absolutely raking those in. Unless we bring Forge or Knock, it will hold fast against us too. And all I can send is funds. So yeah, I'm wondering if this like would require me to have a follower with either the Forge, because you're what, Grail? You have Moth. Let's try one more. I'm like bleeding myself dry over this. If this painting doesn't sell, I didn't even think of that. We're gonna wind up in kind of a bad way. Kind of a bummer. Should have stuck to our guns and gone to the lake. We sold another painting. I love it. All right, cool. So we're just like swimming in glimmerings now. We're actually gonna have more than we need. We did get our funds out of the mix there, so that's beautiful. This is gonna fail again, yeah? Yeah. So it looks like this is just a failure through and through until a warded door. An engineer or an adept has ensured this door will not open easily. Forge or Knocked will defeat it. Our progress is prevented. So I'm just throwing money away for no reason. So we just need to let that go. And then that should give us everyone back, and we can try and go to the lake instead. Although funding is going to be a little bit rough skis. We are going to get sucked into the Mansis here. And then we gotta, when we come out, we're gonna have glimmerings. 2 more glimmerings need to get converted. All right, so here in the wood, a buzzing in the brain doesn't really help us. I wish that there's got to be like a pattern or a rhyme and reason to the cards at the different locations. Oh no, so like the Mallory and the Chamber of Ways are just the places you can go to from the spider door. Just like over here is the well in the temple. What was that? No, what was it? A peculiar rumor. This might need to someone I need. All right, so we're definitely going to follow up on this rumor because maybe that'll turn into another person for the cult, which would be nice. Passions are exhausted. I'm not going to immediately go and dream the way again. For the simple fact that I don't want to have all our passion exhausted. And then here, we're going to dream of some glimmerings. So like this glimmering is going to wind up just being the odd man out, but oh well. I guess we could take this door with health. We got enough health sitting around. I guess again, you know, it seems like those are just an opportunity for free cards, so why not keep that in motion whenever possible? So we're actually going to go follow up on the rumor here. Oh, hopefully this times out and immediately quits back. I didn't think of that. I'd be bummed if we lost our a chance to follow up on the rumor. No. Assistance. Can I just cancel you? No. Shoot. All right. Well, that's okay. We can dream our way back and maybe get another one of those. I think we've gotten one of those from the wood on more than one occasion. So that's fine. Toasting a reminiscence. There's got to be like some of these cards. I just feel like there's like 3 and 4 and 5 different ways to use them that I have no clue about. And I think that's one of the things that makes this so interesting is like you get to a point where you feel like you kind of understand what a specific card is used for and you start adding that to your repertoire. But in doing so, you kind of overlook alternative uses that it could have had. This is going to net us another passion, which is nice. Which I think is very interesting because it's like there's got to be a point at which maybe you waste something or you intentionally kind of use it for something you didn't anticipate. Like the a good example is the restlessness and the dread and me constantly trying to clear dread because I was scared of it. But meanwhile, we were almost dead from fascination and I could have just let that dread do it. Furtive truth. Don't speak this where you may be overheard. Exploring with this scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations in the Shire. So this is for another expedition location. I think well, so right now we can't even get through the expedition we're on. What I really want is more followers. And this is one of the freebie ones it looks like. So like it just shows up. So if we keep dreaming our way to the white door, we can find more of those later. Let's go to the orchard. The pulsing airs. A rising power, a reassuring energy. So this is a 6th order influence of heart. Okay. So not really anything that helps us, but at least now we know. This is going to time out, yeah. I think when this one times out again, it'll stop. I don't know exactly what triggers it to be like no way forward cancel scenario. Go back to the hospital. Yeah, no, I don't want you to go again. Can't you just be done? Is there a way to just tell you to be done? I'm not just going to keep sending funds, so. We have enough passions on the board again now. We can afford to dream our way back to the wood. Because again, I would like to get that rumor back. All right, cool. So there's our newly upgraded passion. And then what could we study? Let's get... Well, no, that would leave me with Can we upgrade you? I bet you I don't have the stuff I would need to upgrade you. Let's do the Smith's secret. Very few know the Smiths and murderers speak the same prayers. I will examine those prayers. We are ill, which sucks. Not a fan, if I'm honest. So when this time's out, let's study a health so that we have a vitality ready. Like I say, I hope that that's not just stuck in perpetuity while it's waiting for us to find a way to fill it out. I also feel like, you know, we did 3 times I added funds to try and overcome that obstacle. So I don't think it's just a matter of continuing to try it. I don't think it's like a hidden die roll. I could be wrong. Doors have 2 purposes. I know, let them out. How are the people at the inn not so suspicious now? In a minute, I'm gonna have to Google how to end an expedition. I've tried really hard not to Google anything. So like, you know, I've said before that this game was really intended to be somewhat kind of difficult to ascertain. The occult scrap is, again, just a chance to find a location. So that one's for the capital. Well, but if I take you and it times out, it doesn't matter. Because I've got to explore it, and my explore is stuck because my expedition is stuck. Hang on a tick. If this even remotely looks like it's gonna give me a spoiler, we're gonna back out fast. Didn't really say anything. It was like, nah, dog. All right, so if I'm just waiting for that to time out, we can't assume a furtive truth. So Trembling Airs does nothing for us. I guess until Expedition's available to me again, watch, it'll time out here and I'll be good to go. 1, 2. Oh, I wonder, was there more gold last time I looked at it? Oh, there is a vitality. Where did we get that vitality from? Was that a random event? I mean, regardless, I'll take it so we can get our health back here. I'm not mad at that. When this one times out again, I gotta check to see how many golds are like in the icon list. Because I remember last time when we lost followers to that, they stopped showing up in there because they were no longer on the expedition. And maybe that, yeah, okay, cool. So if this times out one more time, it should end because they're out of money, right? Maybe it'll give me like one more chance to add money. That'll make sense to me. So then in that instance, when this health is done regenerating, let's dream our way back to the wood again. What is, oh, is it my contentment? What is it that's turning into vitality down here? It's got to be contentment, right? Oh, shoot. I didn't pay attention to this at all and didn't follow up with what it needed as its second input. It's not contentment. Interesting. I don't know what it is that's doing that. Get our health back and then let's dream our way to the wood. I am fine with that. No issues there. Looking good. So I'm in a weird spot now where we seem to be able to kind of coast on like basic necessities. But I'm not really, well, I guess I can't say I'm not really progressing though. Like we unlocked another path into the Mansis expedition. Yeah, I'm not giving you any more money, guys. Come back. They're on like the sweetest vacation. We unlocked another way. We learned a language. We studied all those books we found in the last expedition. Upgraded passion. So like it isn't as though we're completely treading water, but it does feel a little bit like I'm just slow pacing it, which is fine, I guess. Like if you're starting a cult and you're trying not to be too conspicuous about it, maybe that's not a bad thing. Jonathan Reed is just he's a very private man. Trysts and interludes. If you have a particular friend, we don't. All right, so what did you want for section 2? This is a puzzle with missing pieces. Provide erudition or use a library. Right. We need to have an erudition available when we do those. Which is not that hard, because it just means you do a study on reason first. All right, so here's an occult scrap. I am going to take it. I don't know how... It's at 60 seconds? How long until you time out? Do you not time out? You don't time out at all? All right. That's cool. I don't have an issue with that. Right. So you're going to disappear. Apparently we can just find a library and that kind of functions like a permanent erudition for the sake of studying. So that's cool. And then you guys are done, right? You have no money left. I've completely cut you off. I just like my one follower is such a garbage heap because I'm like, yo, dude, go find able-bodied good people. And he just shows up and he's like, yeah, I don't know. She seems legit. It's her and her sister. We're going to go stay at an inn for 2 months. You just make sure you keep working at the hospital, okay? Garbage. You're not getting any more money. You're looking for despair. You won't get it. We'll get you back. Let's do a study on reason to get our erudition. Yeah, those occult scraps. They just chill. So if that's the case, maybe we can go collect a handful of them and just have them ready to crank through once this nightmare expedition ends. I can't believe how much money we fed that thing just for me to then have to sit here and wait until it all disappeared. I sent him with so much like petty slush fund money. Thank God. Oh shoot, so we get a mystique because we screwed it up. That's kind of a bummer. Let's do this. We're gonna lose the one shifty woman. And actually we're gonna essentially lose both of them, but that's fine. I'm not really... Oh, I'd like scratch my elbow, but my mic was in the way. That was interesting. I'm not super eager to try another expedition again until we've kind of reset the board here. I got a couple other moving pieces we want to make use of. We want to find out this new location. We want to study and upgrade our Smith secret. We might also upgrade the Sexton secret. Although I don't like having essentially like no spare. Well, I mean, I say spare, but like I'm not using them for anything. They just sit here. All right, so with that said, and having our erudition in the bank, we'll study you. Erudition's still going to be perfectly usable by the time you've popped. Headed to Mansis. A peculiar rumor. Yes, because my expedition is over and our current exploration is going to be done in time. Beautiful. Okay, so that's kind of back in business. Let these two idiots go. I believe, like, this guy has 2 Grail aspects. I believe you can recruit people and they have those aspects. So if we had a follower with knock aspect, first of all, as a knock cult, that's rad. Second of all, they can do things like on that expedition, we could have been like, yo, we need you to go to the inn and pick a safe. The Congregation of St. Felix of Shurin, a nonconformist enclave of heterodox sect of Calvinist offshoot tucked away in an odd corner of the city. They belt out hymns with unsuitable gusto in a throat-scraping language that is very much not quite Latin. All right. And then that frees up Explore for us to chase down this rumor. I suspect that at the end of this story, I may find someone who will hear what I have to say. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're growing the cult. Forget shifty women that Saliba finds after a night at his local. Now we're working. You want what? Wisdom is the country. Yeah, so you need a timeout so that I can throw this erudition in there. Work, work, everybody work. We'll send Jonathan back to the hospital. He very much has the air of just like a rich socialite with too much money who's like dabbling in the occult, and he just funds it. And then every once in a while people come over to his house and they like have drinks in the parlor and they tell him about some ancient text, but it's probably just something they bought in like a knockoff shop or a secondhand store. So you want erudition now, so we'll do that. And that should upgrade you to an ardent orison. Get our passion back. Hey, what the heck? If we still got all this passion sitting around, let's go to Mansus. I feel like Jonathan just takes like tons of opium and then goes to sleep and has fever dreams every 4 or 5 nights. All right, so we got a notoriety from having gone out and asked around. Ah, but look at this. We do get a follower. Violet, an acquaintance. Violet has always given unstingily of her time, easing the pain of dying. We might be able to recruit her as a follower. She's immortal and she's an acquaintance. But if we talk to her, use the talk with the cult. So we talk with the cult. And then to recruit a follower, I will need a little of the power we revere. I might glean it from influence or a tool or an ingredient or just the lore of our tradition. So here you go. You want to, hey, what's your name again? Hey Violet. Hey Violet. Knock knock. Who's there? The endless secrets of reality. We did it. Okay. Hopefully she pops and has like a decent aspect. With Explorer not in use for the first time in what feels like forever and us being flush with cash, let's go to the auction house, I guess, here. We are going to bid, please. I don't care what it is you have for sale. Jonathan Reed spares no expense. My water bottle just like spit back at me. Very unpleasant. All right. So we have a new associate, a believer, Violet. So she is of the winter aspect, which I guess makes sense given her background. Very cool. Okay, so we want a ton of those peculiar rumors. I want peculiar rumors everywhere, because I very much want more people in the cult, because then that means we can be selective of what we do on expeditions. Okay, so we're good with that's a pretty big breakthrough. That's like we went from just like us and one random dude chit-chatting about weird stuff we dream, and now like kind of have an idea of where we're going with it. So that's fine. What are you? Hey, a Sanskrit training manual. Beautiful. Would you look at that? All right, so like, hey, listen, a little bit weird, but we got to where we were going. There's some really good stuff in place here. I'm gonna wrap it up for now. Give Jonathan a chance to go into the Mansus. Well, let's do that real quick before I go. Hang on, we're like 3 seconds away. One more trip into the Mansus for what? A buzzing in the brain? We don't need it. We're gonna go to the well. Ah, shoot, the temple! We gotta just keep going to the temple. It's gonna yield better results here. All right, but that's fine. We can dream again. I'm gonna head out for now. Hopefully you've enjoyed a little bit more Cultist Simulator. This is kind of a new one for me because I haven't really done anything just for the YouTube yet. So like I say, I don't know that we'll complete this game, but I'm still having fun with it. So as long as I'm doing that, I'm gonna keep recording it for everybody. So until I see you next time, make sure you're ruthless with that backlog. Bye, guys.